Hey, what's up guys, I'm Praetorian and welcome back to Europa Universalis IV Domination. So the first thing we're going to be doing in today's episode is getting rid of one of these two forts here that are next to each other. I think those are the only forts I could see really getting rid of right now. Don't need to have both of these. Let's get rid of the one here. So we'll delete that. That'll save us a little bit of money. Next, we're going to make use of our diplomat here to build up a spy network here. And so this gives us a variety of bonuses, but most importantly allows us to siege a little bit faster. And then we need to do this decision here, the fate of Joan of Arc. So let's go and take that and we'll go and read this. So this is the retrial of Joan of Arc. The mother of Joan of Arc, with the support of France, has petitioned His Holiness to order an inquiry on her daughter's trial. An inquisition meticulously examined the 1431 trial and after numerous hearings cleared her of all charges. Joan of Arc is now considered a martyr of the Catholic Church and her judge has been declared a heretic. So Charles VII really is the church's firstborn. This is going to give us prestige and legitimacy. We don't really need the legitimacy. I'm trying to think if there's anything we could do. I think we already have royal marriages. I guess we could take a look and confirm. I think we have royal marriages with everybody that we're currently allied to. Yeah. Okay, so not much that we could do there with the legitimacy, but the prestige will still be helpful. So we'll take that. All right, so I believe that's everything we need to do. So let's go and let it play. So we're building up a war chest, and frankly, I feel like we should probably build. We don't necessarily have to build more troops. We could just use some mercenaries instead, though we don't really have a whole lot of force limit left. We got a new cardinal. And we can go ahead and set this marriage up. I suppose we don't have any diplomats. So you can see one's just sitting here. I guess I could have done it through here. We don't need two of them increase in opinion in our subject countries. Let's go and get that marriage set up. But yeah, I'd like to build up a few more units. And, because yeah, we don't have a force limit to really get enough mercenaries to matter. I think we have like 5,000 left in our force limit. And Savoy is no longer a valid rival for our country, but it did, having them temporarily there did allow us to get that 10 plus power projection from eclipsing them, so it wasn't completely useless setting them as our rival. For our next option, let's go with, we already decided we weren't going to do Austria. Could do the Ottomans. I think we're just going to do Muscovy. I know they're far away and kind of irrelevant as a rival. We can always change it later. But yeah, let's go and invest in the admin tech to get the church. Remember, we need to build a church in order to appease the clergy on this agenda. So we need to build that in Bordeaux. So we'll do that as soon as we have the money. But as I was saying, we do need to get a few more units. I don't know, maybe 3,000 more or something like that. But we also need ships. And since ships, so Geneva here wants us to support their independence. So they're a vassal of Savoy, and you can see that they already have their independence supported by several other countries, including Naples. Let me just take a look. Yeah, we could do that. Why not? So they'll likely rebel soon, and then we'll have to fight that conflict. Shouldn't be too difficult of a conflict to do, though. Might be able to get something out of it as well. Let's go ahead and do those ships first, because I feel like we do need more ships. Not only to be able to move more troops over here, because I don't know if we'll be able to move through all this territory. We'll have to see. But yeah, also simply because our fleet is the same size as Naples' fleet, and then you got the big old large Venetian fleet. I don't even know if we'll be able to move ships over by, move troops over by ship. But let's try and get at least 2 more ships built. But yeah, the Venetians are going to be a problem because they have that big old fleet. So then they had the Iberian wedding. Okay, so that'll result in Aragon being in a personal union with them, and so therefore we can no longer have them as a rival. Also, we now have a costly trade embargo since they're not our rival, so let's go and revoke that. And we'll have to find a new rival, which is unfortunate. Oh, wait a minute. Castile just rivaled us and thus broke the alliance. Okay, so Castile should probably be our rival then. Yeah, so let's go ahead and do that. So that's unfortunate that alliance did not last long. I told you guys I didn't expect that it would. So not surprising at all there. But basically, we're going to want another alliance. Now, we still have the royal marriage with them. And since we're supporting the independence of Geneva, we just don't have a slot open here. Could use the dipple power for that though, because it's not really an issue. Dipple power, I mean. Could of course use that to boost up the development to some of our provinces though, so it's not completely useless. But having an ally to help out in this war would be pretty useful, since you know we're fighting Bohemia, Venice, and Naples, or that's what we're expecting the war to look like. So yeah, let's just see who's all willing to ally with us. So Brittany, who's probably terrified of us, they're willing to strike up an alliance. Could do Milan, so you have somebody in Italy supporting you. Could ally with the Papal States as well. They're always a good ally to have. And then you're less likely to get excommunicated. Yeah, maybe we'll do the Papal States. There's the Hungarians, which could help us against Bohemia, but then it might also drag us into war with the Ottomans. So probably not the best route to go. So between the Papal States and Milan, the Pope would definitely be more useful. And I got a fleet. So I think we're going to ally with them. So we got an ally with the, or an alliance with the Pope. Of course, we do have too many diplomatic relations now, but that's okay. And they're willing to share their knowledge with us. So this is probably not worth it. Is a 1% growth towards Renaissance. It's helpful for sure. But yeah, I really don't think we need to do this right now. We're not that far from getting it on our own. And you can see it's growing. You're about to get it here. You already got it in one province. We'll eventually get it, guys. I'm not too worried about it. I don't want to spend the money on it. On getting it from the Pope. So we have a plague here. So we're going to spend the money. Try and reduce the effects of it. So our vassal in Orleans is demanding a province. Yeah, we're not going to give them any provinces. But this will result in them getting more liberty desire and also decreasing their opinion. But we'll get prestige from it. So there is that. And it looks like we can get the dipple tech. So this will unlock the docks. I almost never have a problem with sellers. Do you guys ever have issues with sellers? It seems just kind of an irrelevant, element or feature of the game. Because I just never have problems with sellers. Now, I know that if you have like one port province or something, let's say you're playing as Austria, sellers are going to become a problem. But for most countries, particularly countries that have any kind of decent amount of coastline, I've just not had any issues with sellers. We'll get more naval morale though, more trade efficiency, so that's money, and increased trade range. Now that reminded me, I actually wanted to do something with trade. We're not really making much from the Rhineland one. This is basically bringing 1.37 into our home trade node where we only have 23% of the power. So we're only getting 23% of that. And so really it's not much, guys. So I think we should switch the Rhineland one over to, well, really there's a couple options. We'll see which one's the most profitable. Let's kind of test this out a little bit. So the first thing we could do is try and collect trade from here. We're of course already collecting and we're getting 3.66, but by putting a merchant here, we'll get more trade power. And so this might be profitable. I mean, it'll be profitable, but how profitable, I don't exactly know. So let's just test it out by moving them over there. We're currently at 330. So that moves it up to 3.63. I don't know if it's updated. It looks like it's not much. 3.76 now. Okay, so that's 0.46. So not much. So the other options would be to try and collect trade from one of these two locations, where we have some trade power and basically we're not getting any money from those trade nodes. So they're worth the same amount. 14.6 is the value of each of these. But in this one we have 8%, and this one we have 6% of the trade power. So it'd probably be more profitable to move our merchant over here than in the channel, at least for right now. So let's go ahead and try this out and see how much this is going to increase it by. So right now we're not getting anything. We might need to give it a month to update. 0.84. Okay. Yeah, I think that's definitely worth more than the merchant being in champagne collecting. Not much more, but we'll keep them there. It'll help us out some. So we can go ahead and get this ship constructed. So let's go ahead and do that. And then once we're done, well, we still need to get the troops as well. The next thing we're going to do is that building, that church, so we can get the agenda completed. You got a long time to complete them, but of course you can't work on the next agenda until you finish the one you currently have. So yeah, we'll work on that for now. Building this fleet up here, which we did get that other ship constructed, so let's go ahead and mothball them. We'll keep them mothballed until we're closer to declaring war, which we wouldn't be able to pull the Papal States in immediately because we don't have any favors with them. Now let's go ahead and set up this marriage real quick. So yeah, the next thing we're doing is getting this, not the marketplace, the church constructed. And that's right here. So it's going to bring us a little bit of money. Not much. Like, how long does it take to pay itself off? You have to do the math. So now England is a valid rival. I'm just not entirely sure why, whether or not we can rival them keeps flip-flopping. There was a hotfix today. I didn't see anything in the patch notes about this situation here. But yeah, my other playthrough, I did not experience this. So I know it's not the mod. Who could we remove? Nobody. We don't want to remove Burgundy. And we can't remove Muscovy until 1469. Could remove Castile as well, because I don't actually want to be rivals with them. Let's go and get this next one here, but there is also the tech we could be saving up for. But one advantage of waiting is that we might get the Renaissance institution done. That'll make this cheaper. Also, doing the ideas instead does decrease the cost of that. And we'll get the siege ability, so that's always helpful too. Let's go and build some more troops up. So we're gonna get probably just 3 more units, like 2 over here and then 1 into this one. So you could build a bit more, and you gotta pay for them, of course. I don't know if we'll have the money for that. So let's just do 1 here, 2 over here. Looks like we could get, yeah, we'll just go and build 2 more then. And that's it for now. So we'll get these units added into these armies here. And we did not embargo Castile or Muscovy. Okay, let's go ahead and embargo Muscovy. I think we'll remove Castile from being our rival. I don't actually want to be rivals with the Spanish. So we'll go ahead and just embargo them. And no point on doing it with Castile if we're going to be removing our rivalry with them here in just a couple years. So the birth of the permanent taxation system. Charles VII remodeled French finances, establishing heavy taxation, particularly through the taille, direct land tax, extracting the wealth of land that has always been a tough nut to crack for the centralizing French kings. To tap the vast riches of the French lands, new and improved taxation methods were needed time after time. Throughout history, the methods used became more and more rationalized to optimize gains for the treasury. The birth of a permanent taxation system was a major step towards this aim. So this is going to give us some government reform. We're going to get 1 base tax in Paris. We will take some unrest in the city as well, though. Get 1 innovativeness, and also another base tax in another province. Okay, so basically that penalty is going to be applied to both of those 2 provinces. So we do not need to see a pop-up every time this happens. Let's go and set that to no longer notify us. Yeah, just not very important. And this is going to reduce our unrest. So helpful, though we're not really facing any unrest anywhere. Alright, so our armies and our fleet are ready. Just going to build up the funds a little bit more, but basically we're ready to start this conflict up. We just need to move our troops, get them into place. I suppose we can unmothball those. And let's go and get the troops put in place. I suppose we should also see if we're even going to get any support from the Papal States here. Looks like that's a no. Now the big problem, of course, is that we don't have the favors with them. But yeah, they wouldn't do it anyways. So we're probably going to have to fight this war on our own. I think we'll still outnumber them because of all of our vassal swarm here. Yeah, we'll outnumber them, not in cav, but just total troop numbers. Okay, so yeah, I mean, it's not too big of an issue here. It'll still be a tougher fight than anything we've fought yet before. Yeah, let's go and get these troops put in place. I'm just kind of worried about the fleet, because I'm not sure if we'll be able to march through all this territory. Is that we won't be able to get access to everybody. And there's a lot of countries you got to get access through as well. Taking up those diplo slots. It's kind of difficult to get through here, and there's nobody in the war on our borders here, and you know Savoy's not going to give us access anyways. So I'm a little worried we won't be able to get through here. Yeah, I really feel like we need to land with our fleet, and we're not going to be successful in that because of the Venetians. Now, a lot of those are light ships. What we could do is build up a light ship fleet rather than having all frigates. Yeah, I suppose that's probably a better option here, because they're cheaper. So get some galleys going, and that's primarily what we're going to be facing. So we get these, they're, 20 compared to 50 on the cost. So you can get a lot more of them. So I think that's what we're going to do. Build up a light ship fleet. Kind of helps out in the Mediterranean here. And we did complete that estate agenda. So we have increased the clergy's loyalty and also got 1+ base tax. And we can probably go ahead and do another one immediately. So let's go ahead and do that in order to increase the loyalty, because we're going to seize land again. Let's go and see what our options are. And again, I think I have to reload this every single time. So I'd have to reload it before we did this here. Yeah, it's just for whatever reason, the title here isn't being read by the game. Not sure what the issue is there. Anyway, our options are to build another church, this time in Paris. Probably one of the better locations to build a church. So could do that. This one here wants us to conquer Savoy. Not really our priority right now. While this one here wants us to increase production. Base production of a province. So we'll get money if we complete this one. Get the bourgeoisie more loyal. I think we're going to do the Paris one. Yeah, let's do the Paris one. And then let's go and seize more land. Currently our crown lands are at 44%. Getting to 50% will get us some bonuses, but we won't be able to get that if we start taking any of the privileges here. Yeah, let's go and do this. And we'll have to fight a rebellion. That's okay. It's a pretty small rebellion. It's in the same area as well. Now, we do have a fort here that's mothballed that they could take, so let's go ahead and make sure that we're paying them. And then we'll have to pay our troops as well, so we can get these guys defeated. Won't bring both armies over here, I think that's unnecessary, so we'll just drill these guys instead. And we don't have a general here. Okay, so what I think we're going to do is let's give our ruler military command. Remember, this is Charles VII. He did lead his troops personally during the 100 Years' War. He has a pretty good military rating, military skill here in the game. I think it's actually a little bit too high, honestly. I would say he probably deserves more a 3, like as a pretty average leader, because he was an average leader. He did all right, of course, in the 100 Years' War. You got to give him credit for the fact that he did something that many of his predecessors were not able to do. He was able to kick the English out of all of France outside of Calais. And so he did succeed at that, but he was mostly successful in the 100 Years' War due to the weakness of the English position at the time. They were having all kinds of issues. Of course, the War of the Roses would break out, so they'd have big old civil war. They had a very weak king in Henry VI, and just a ton of problems. So I feel like Charles's success was largely due to the English weakness. because remember, Charles was losing. In fact, we just took that decision about Joan of Arc, and before she came onto the scene, he was not doing well. Remember, he had been disinherited by his father, another Charles, Charles VI, in favor of Henry V of England. And so yeah, he had lost his inheritance, was no longer set to inherit the Kingdom of France. Instead, Henry VI was going to get it. He was already claiming himself to be the King of France. So he had to fight for his right to get the throne. When Joan arrived at his camp claiming to be a messenger of God, his position in France was incredibly weak. Now, why he, put her at the head of an army, we don't really know. Like, what did she say to him when they met in private? She must have been a very charismatic woman to convince the King of France, or the rightful King of France, as he would call himself, to put her at the head of army to go relieve the siege of Orleans. So yeah, she had to be incredibly charismatic, but Charles was also very desperate, I think, so maybe willing to try just about anything at that point. Now, Joan was not a great military leader, a great warrior, as some of the Hollywood movies might have you believe. I mean, she was a peasant, first of all. Peasants that didn't generally know how to fight, or at least not at the level of the nobility and the knights. I mean, melee fighting is something you have to train at for many, many years to be good at. And the nobility, the knights, they trained their entire lives to be good warriors. And so peasants weren't able to just pick up weapons and then be really good with them. So she wasn't a great warrior, as you would expect from a person at her station, and at her gender, of course. But then as far as a military commander, I've studied her actions quite a bit, and she actually didn't really command the troops, really. She had military advisors with her who did a lot of that. But yeah, it wasn't really her role. What her role was the way she impacted the morale of the army. She played a very significant role in basically retrieving the French from their despair. She motivated them at a time that's exactly what they needed. So yeah, it was a great move on Charles's part, putting her at the head of that army. So I'd say that Charles was a very capable ruler, and he does deserve to have some decent stats. He wasn't terrible. He should at least be average. But yeah, I don't think that he was a great military commander. One of his biggest problems was that he was incredibly indecisive. He needed a lot of prodding to get moving. When he did move, he was capable at doing so. But yeah, he sat around not doing anything for a long time. He didn't capitalize on his victories. Again, the English were incredibly weak at that time. We see that he did take advantage of the situation that we saw open up the campaign, with Maine, where he was going in just to get Maine, which was rightfully his according to the treaty that he had signed with the English. But then when he saw how quickly it fell to him and watched the English army just retreating before him and not even bothering to really put up a fight, then he pushed into the rest of Normandy and took over it all, and then eventually came over here and took Gascony as well. But again, that was more than anything due to the weakness of the English. So I really feel like he's more of an average military leader. Yeah, it's certainly fitting that we have him lead his own troops, I feel, because obviously he did that historically. So let's go and give him command. And I was hoping he'd be pretty good, and he is. He's 3-3, so that's not too bad for shock and fire. Maneuvers low, but look at that siege. Absolutely fantastic. All right, so let's go and put him in charge of this army. And we'll still need to get another general, because remember, our general over here is terrible. Hesitant to do so, though, because that would cost us military power. And we are going to be attacking here without much morale, but it's such a small army that it won't be a problem. So we got a grand ball event here. So we got to spend some money to get some prestige. Unfortunately, we don't have that money. So we're going to want to wait just a minute. No, we're actually losing money. How do we want to do this then? Okay, this is what we're going to do. Let's stop paying for the army for a second. Stop this guy from drilling. Let it go a month to get the money that we needed there. And our master recruiter died as well, unfortunately. So now, again, let's pay for the army. We got enough money to do this without actually having to take a loan. Yeah, I really didn't want to have to take a loan to do that. Start him drilling again, and we don't have any money to deal with the advisor situation. All right, so while we get our morale up, we can go ahead and take this province. They did attack us, which we had no morale, but they had such a small army. Suppose we don't really need to take that over since we have this fort here. All right, so we got the victory here. So we want to go to move our troops. I mean, there's nowhere really to put them here where they won't have supply problems. This army's getting a little too large for the time period of the game. So there's not a whole lot of places you can put them safely. So move them over to here. We got some galleys built. All right, let's mothball those as well since we can't really use the fleet at the moment. Now this is one of the models that is broken. I think that's a different model. That's not the main galley model. So let's go ahead and mothball these guys. And we'll just keep them all in one fleet. That looks like I didn't mothball somebody. Oh, I thought I had mothballed them again. I didn't. Okay, so we were paying for those. Which there's no point on letting them repair right now, because yeah, we don't have the fleet to win the war. So we need to build it up a little bit more. I mean, I suppose we could declare war even without having the fleet constructed and just work on it. Yeah, I suppose we could do that. But first, let's go ahead and... I think we're going to get rid of some of these crown lands now. I mean, we don't want to get rid of the crown lands, but we want to get certain privileges. So the one we want to get is the primacy of the nobility. So this is going to give us monthly military power +1. It's going to take away 10 of our crown land. We really just wanted to make sure we were at least at 40% so we didn't drop below the 30%. But there's more ones that we want to grant out, so you need to get the crown lands anyways. So yeah, let's go ahead and do this one here. That's going to give them 10% crown land. When absolutism takes effect, we'll lose 5 of that, and then their loyalty equilibrium will be 5% less. But I think it's pretty high right now. Yeah, it's 76% at the moment due to, I think this here is playing a large role in that. Yeah, let's go and get this one. The monthly military power will be pretty helpful for us. Now, we do still have the other one, the increased levies, but yeah, we just can't do that. We can't exempt them from seizing land right now. I always use the manpower, but yeah, at this moment, that would not be good for us because we need to take their land. They now have quite a bit of it. Almost 50% of the land is in their hands. So that's a problem. So basically, yeah, we can't do it yet. And since we're only at 39% here, we don't want to do any of the other ones just yet either. Point is, we'll now get +1 military power. So that'll be helpful with us doing that idea group. And we still got these guys drilling, don't we? Okay, let's go and stop that and stop paying for the army. Just going to build one more galley. Get that done. That'll get us up to 13 ships. Still not really enough to take out Venice and their 20 ships. Given some of those are trade ships. So you have to keep that in mind. But still, and you know, our frigates would probably do pretty well against their galleys. Just going to show you how this looks. So with the caravels, they have 12 cannons compared to the galleys' 4 cannons. So obviously the caravels are much better. But the galleys get that 100% modifier here, which means they essentially have 8 cannons. So 8 cannons to the 12 of the caravel. Hull size is pretty close. Caravel has a little bonus there. They have the higher speed. Okay, so basically, each one of our frigates is better than the light ships, even in the Mediterranean. But due to the cost, you can see how the light ships are far more beneficial in this area. So maybe get, I don't know, a couple more here. Yeah, if we get 2 more, we'll be at 15. That should be enough to take out just the Venetians, but then you still, yeah, you got the Naples fleet as well, so yeah, this is still going to be an issue. If we can't get across here by land, which again, I don't think we will be able to. Got a bit of unrest that we're dealing with. Yeah, I guess we'll, I think this is probably fine for now, and we can start the conflict Because we'll have to defeat them in the sea anyways. Before we'll be able to bring the troops over. What would be really good is if they invade us and then we can get some victories on the defense. So let me just do, I don't know, a couple more months to get these ships constructed. And then we'll take them off mothball and start working on getting them repaired up. We've got to advance loyal subjects here. We can increase our diplomatic reputation and diplomatic annexation costs. Of course, we can't annex them right now. Or just get that diplomatic power. How long does this last? Not very long. Okay, so we'll probably just get this one then. And immediately after this event fires again. Alright, we'll take the prestige. Orleans is becoming a bit of a problem for us. And our queen died. A bunch of stuff happening here all at the same time. So we could reduce the tech costs for the military. We haven't got the next tech yet, so that would actually be pretty beneficial. This lasts for 10 years. So yeah, we'd want to probably get that one. This here would decrease the cost of our ships though. And that would apply to maintenance as well. And we're building light ships, that'd be helpful, but not worth the military tech costs. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do that. So we can try and get this tech knocked out a little bit quicker. Alright, so I guess we'll mothball those guys for now. And give it just this one more month, and then we'll go ahead and take them off the mothball. So hurtful trade policies. We can increase the trade efficiency by supporting the bourgeoisie. They'll get more loyal, but also get more influence. Yeah, I suppose we'll do that one. And some of those have expired as well. We're about to be getting the next government reform here. This year, it looks like. This year coming up. Let's go ahead and take our fleet off mothball status. And then go ahead and build some more of these light ships, galleys. Get 2 more of those. Suppose we could do one over here and then move them. I suppose we'll get 2 more, since we can afford them. And we do have a revolt we gotta deal with. That is not in our territory. And you know what? I'm not gonna fight that. Orleans is a problem. Let them fight their own damn revolts. I know we get an opinion boost if we help them out. But I don't think it's a problem with opinion. Yeah, it's 198. So that's not gonna help us much. I was going to take these guys off the mothball status. Actually, they've already been taken off. Okay. So that's fine. So I'll keep them off the mothball status. Got another cardinal. Right, excellent. So let me just take a look at how we're doing over here. Could wait until we get this 50. I think we will. I don't believe we have any chance currently. At 3.1% chance at the moment. Because we have invested at least something, it looks like. 10. So yeah, we're not going to invest any further. Let's just get to the 50 so we can spend it on something else. Because yeah, it's not a high chance that we're gonna win here. Let's go ahead and put these fleets over here. We'll just keep the entire fleet together. Let's get those ships repaired here. So it's 4 more months to get them fully repaired. That fits on the timeline of getting the rest of these ships built up. So we'll have the full fleet, and then we'll be ready to go. Alright, so let's get all the ships moved. We're in July now. Kind of late for the conflict. That's okay. So we gotta get them all merged here. Yeah, the conflict will not be on... This will not open up on land for a little while, since we have to defeat their fleet first. This reduces the ship of the line and trade ships, their costs, so not going to help us that much. Yeah, we're going to decline that. Alright, so I was going to merge these. And I thought we would have a higher number of ships here. 22, oh, okay, wait a minute, that's the 3 there. Okay, so we need 1 more, at least, I feel. But we're not going to wait for these to be constructed. We can get 2 more. Okay, so we'll go ahead and just get all the way up to our captain. We're not going to wait for this. Let's go ahead. Let me just take a look here. Yeah, we're all fully repaired now. So let's go and declare war. And we see that we still can't get the Papal States to join in this conflict. We have the favors with them, but they're just not interested in doing so because it would destabilize them. But that's fine. So yeah, we're going to declare this war, and we'll be fighting Bohemia, Venice, Lucca, and Naples to restore the Union. So this is the start of the Italian Wars. We're going to keep our forts all paid for, probably. I don't know how much that's going to impact our money, though. Could land anywhere. You know, I'm not too worried about this one here. You know, really, they're probably not going to be attacking anywhere in the north. We just can't really tell what Bohemia will end up doing, though. So you got to keep that one defended. Probably this one as well. But I think we're all right on that one. So we won't do that. Probably won't do this one either. They're not going to come all the way around here to land. So we can cut off the paying for that. But the rest of these are going to have to be maintained. Yeah, this is the start of the Italian Wars. Historically, they started in 1494 or something like that. Somewhere around 1494. It was 1493. I don't remember the exact date. But they're started by another Charles. Actually, our current Charles's grandson, Charles VIII. He started the Italian Wars. So, starting it earlier than historically. So, we probably can't move through here. Yeah, you'd have to do the automatic transport. So to be able to move through their territory by land, we'd have to get access through Savoy at the very least. I suppose you can come up through this way, but then Burgundy would have to give you access. Neither of them are willing to give us access, so yeah, it's not really an option. We had to go by sea, hence why we built up this fleet. We should definitely get an admiral, since us winning the war is entirely dependent on us winning in the seas. So pretty important that we get a victory here. And we'll get Simon. Alright, so he has no fire ability. Shock is 2, maneuvers 3, siege is 1. Alright, so not the worst, not the greatest. We do want to get another another general as well. Just because our one general sucks. And so he's slightly better than him. I say slightly, he's much better. That's Charles VII. And we'll keep that guy since it's not hitting our cap or anything. So just have a better general here. And yeah, I guess we just wait now until they attack, or until, and we could send our fleet out. Could wait until we get these guys built. Let's just go after them, because I think a lot of those ships are going to be trade ships. So let's just go and go after them and see if we can't get them engaged. We need to slow this down. We're never going to catch them. So we'll do this battle here. So this is against 1 trade ship, 3 light ships, and 7 frigates. So we definitely have the advantage here until somebody else sends their fleet. So Lucca has a fleet too. So if both Lucca and Venice send their fleets in here, then we'd probably not win this. But if just Lucca sends it in, I think we should be able to win it. We'll just have to see what happens here. Also, they have an admiral. So it seems that he's better. Yeah, slightly better. It doesn't look like they're interested in joining into this battle. Okay, excellent. Oh, maybe not. Okay, so now they're going up that way. Alright, so we should be able to engage just the Naples fleet. Alright, so that worked out for us. We didn't sink any ships or capture them, though, unfortunately, so that just sends them to port to go repair. Alright, so not the victory, the big victory that we needed here. Let's go ahead and just go back in the port and repair so we can engage those guys with our full strength here. And we should get that very soon. And so then we'll go and attack them here. You can see they're trying to flee. They won't make it. So engage them and see if we can't get their ships destroyed. Looks like that's a no. Didn't destroy them, didn't capture them either. Okay, so that's unfortunate. We're going to have to do several of these type of battles, though. Tensions between the nobility and the clergy. So I just got to pick between one of these two here. This results in a rebellion. And we got our troops already being paid for, morale going up. This option here would decrease opinion with the papal states. So obviously not good. And we have a lot more loyalty to lose with the nobility than with the clergy. So we're going to go with this option here then. And just fight the rebellion. And it happens to be real close to us. Alright, so that works out. I'll take it in a month. We'd at least want to get our morale up. Do we want to attack from here, though? Because then you get that river penalty. And this is a pretty close size army here. And yeah, they got all that cav. They have a leader. This is not just a peasant rebellion. So probably don't want to get the river crossing penalty. So let's instead, we'll have to attack from here. And maybe they take the province. We'll see. But we still need to get morale up anyways. So we can now get the next government reform. So that's going to be tier 3, bureaucracy. So this option here mainly affects autonomy. You also get a culture conversion cost reduction. It's just not that useful, and you're going to reduce the loyalty of all the estates. So yeah, clearly don't want to do that. Decentralized bureaucracy might be the one we go for here, even though obviously we don't want, it's not that fitting for France here for us to decentralize everything, but just looking at the other options, it's probably the best. This is going to give us a max promoted cultures +2. Minimum autonomy and territories will be reduced, and all of our estates will actually be more loyal. Expanded royal court. Possible advisors is a pretty useless modifier. Reform progress growth +20%. We never did get new advisors. We need to do that still. I should have did that before we started this war here. Doesn't matter that much though. We got some money. But anyways, that gives you that, and basically you can move through these reforms faster at the cost of more influence for all the estates. Royal favoritism. This one's great because it gives you a ton of really nice bonuses. Reduce the loyalty loss from seizing crown land by 5%, so you can seize crown land more often. Cost of advisors with the ruler's culture is reduced by 10%, so that's helpful. And the estates all lose influence. But it has one big negative here: you can't do the called diet anymore. And that's a great way for increasing opinion, and also just gives you some nice bonuses. So that's kind of a big negative. So I don't know if we want to do that one. Plus there's often missions that require you to I don't know if there's any in this particular tree, but there's often missions that require you to call the diet a certain amount of times, or do complete the agenda of, let's say, the clergy 5 times or something like that, and then you can't complete those missions. Again, I don't know if we have any missions like that, but it's something to consider. You got the regional councils. I'm not big on this one. The state maintenance is nice, so it's going to just straight up save you some money. But the age unique state edicts, it's always difficult to tell how much that's actually earning you. Something like the local tax modifier, for instance. State edicts increase the maintenance, so it's also going to increase the local tax. How much are you actually earning from that? It's hard to say. The representatives of the crown, vassals, and marches gain 25% increased national tax modifier, so it helps our vassals, while giving us one more diplomatic relation slot. Vassal force limit contributions, we'll get more force limit from our vassals, and we don't get any monarch power from tributary states. So I mean, it's okay. The diplomatic relation would be nice, I suppose. Really, I think this is probably the best one for us at the moment. We can always change it later. But yeah, this one doesn't really have as many exciting options. So yeah, we'll just go with this one, the decentralized. I think that'd be the best option for us at the moment. Just makes our estates more loyal, so that's the main reason. And I haven't looked at accepted cultures. If we would like to make, we could make the Normans an accepted culture here if we wanted to. So yeah, I could always do that if we wanted to spend the power on it. But let me just take a look at the next tech. Yeah, so this one unlocks the heavy ships, so we're going to want to get it. It is kind of expensive without the Renaissance institution, but again, I just keep hoping we get that embrace soon. So yeah, we won't spend the power on that just yet. It's not like we have excess power at the moment. Alright, so let's go ahead and take our fleet, put them in a port, let them repair those small losses. Not much, but doesn't hurt to go into battle with full strength when you are outnumbered in the seas. And then we'll go back out looking for enemy fleets, see if we can't find them. Alright, so got this army wrapping up around here. These guys could go... there's nothing we can do since we can't land on their territory just yet. We might be able to send them over there. But I'd really like to get the seas won before we risk our fleets being put out there. So we need to find the Venetian fleet. That's the main fleet. So what if we go all the way up here and see if we can't find them in the Gulf of Venice. So there's one ship. Okay, there's the fleet right there. Let's take a look at them. So they have the 9 frigates and the 3 light ships. The trade ships are irrelevant. It's interesting the AI is keeping all their ships in one fleet for some reason. Not entirely sure why they're doing that. So we got more frigates and more light ships. But I assume their admiral... Actually, no. Their admiral's worse. I mean, he has the 2 fire. While we have the 2 shock, and he only has 1 shock. But we got the maneuver, which is a little bit more important for fleets than it is for generals. So I don't know. I guess you could probably say that maybe they're close to being the same. So they were able to take that province. I expected that to be the case here. And since we're moving all the way over here. So we got that increased autonomy there. Unfortunately, could have brought this army over here and then we wouldn't have had to worry about the river bonus. I suppose that would have been an option. But then the manpower you save from winning the battle easier. Do you take that in attrition from moving on 2 armies through all these provinces? Alright, so we're doing this battle and this battle over here. You see their armies mobilizing. We'll see if they're able to march into our territory. Now the AI was easily able to get access to all this. And so yeah, they're going to be doing battles over here that we cannot engage in. So yeah, the Venetians here mobilizing a large force. Yeah, we'll have to see if we can win that or not. I think we should win it. We defeated these rebels. Excellent. And our leader gained a trait, Master of Arms. Increase in infantry combat ability. Alright, that's pretty useful. And I do keep forgetting that we need to get an advisor here, so let's go ahead and do that. So we want somebody who's going to help us. I guess reinforced speed is the only thing that's really going to help us at the moment. Unless we have to defend one of our forts. So I suppose we'll get him. He's also of our culture. So we'll be able to promote him. He's a level 2. How much money are we currently earning? 3.49. So this would put us in the negative, so we actually need a level 1 guy, don't we? Could just go in the negative. That's an option too. Might have to do that, but that also means we can't get any other advisors. It's like if we wanted to instead just get 2 level 1 advisors. Might be the better option. To get like 1 in here, and you'd probably get national tax modifier. Kind of pays for himself a little bit. You know what, let's go and get him. Because yeah, that would partially pay for itself. And then if we get this guy here, you're getting the military power. You're not getting any bonus or whatever, but you know, we're saving money. So that's what we're going to do. I'd like to stay in the positive during the war if we can, so we can continue to spend money on stuff. So we'll take that fort back. I wonder if he's coming over to assist. I hope not. Because yeah, we did win this, and we captured 3 ships. All right, fantastic. And 2 of those were frigates, the expensive frigates. So that's great, though we are now probably over our naval force limit. We also got a trade ship, probably want to get rid of that. The early trade ships, the cogs, they're pretty much garbage. They barely even pay for themselves, as we've seen, and only in like the more richer trade nodes. Yeah, we captured 3 ships, but we sunk 7 ships. So that was a significant victory there. So we definitely crippled their fleet. Alright, so let's go ahead and move back over to here. And then once they get here, we're going to separate this fleet a little bit. Actually, once we get over here, we're going to get rid of that 1 ship. Should have already done that, so we're not paying for it. That cog. So let's get rid of that. That's just not worth keeping when you're over the limit, which we are still 1 ship over. And we also have another ship that's been constructed over here, so I want to get that added into the rest of the fleet. Yeah, let's go move over here, and we'll attack these guys. Let me make sure that nobody's too damaged. I guess there's a little bit of damage done here. I know we outnumber them quite a bit, but let's go ahead and repair up. We don't want to lose any ships and have to pay to rebuild them. I think it's fine to just wait a little bit. So they're attacking with 27,000. Okay, so let's go ahead and now stop drilling our army. And this is what I wanted. I wanted them to come into our territory. And so we're going to want them to attack us in a favorable location. You got the hills. That's not too bad. And they'd have to attack from here to not get the river penalty. So if they attack this way, they'll outnumber us. But we got 12,000 troops sitting over here to assist and another 20,000 on the way. So not a bad situation. And as far as their leader goes, we got a lot of different potential leaders here. So I'm going to see what, which one would actually be in command. A 1-3, which is worse than ours. Okay, so yeah, that would work out in our favor. They got more troops over here though. 6,000 there, 11,000 there, 12,000 there. So a lot of troops coming in here. Okay, so maybe move over this way. Yeah, let's come over here. And who's attacking who then? So we're gonna get there on the 4th of March. So we'll get there first. But we no longer have the hill bonus. We'll only have the river bonus. And these guys are taking off. Okay, so this might be a loss here, unfortunately. Yeah, I think that's going to be a loss. And plus, these guys here, they don't have much morale. Now, given once they get into it, we should be able to win that. Let's see how these ships are doing. Yeah, we'll let them repair another month before we attack over here. Let's focus on these land battles. Alright, so here you see we're pretty much equal. They have the river penalty. So with the assistance of these guys, you should be able to win. And it doesn't look like they're coming to assist. Do we want to wait a month since their morale is so low? And giving them another month would be, yeah, you know what? Let's give them another month here. They'll get there on the 15th of March, so let's just give it a few days. The battle might be over by that point. Yeah, okay, I think we're going to have to go in. Because you got another 6,000 coming, so yeah, we're going to have to go in, even with the lower morale, to make sure we win this. And even then, it looks like we're going to lose that. So this is the Italian Wars event. War has come to Italy. These are not the civilized skirmishes to which the Italians are accustomed, but war is practiced by the battle-hardened armies of France. The sound of church bells and haggling merchants will soon be replaced by the gruesome, destructive cacophony of cannon fire. For some Italians, the horrors of war offer financial opportunity. The number of condottieri, probably butchered that, condottieri, generals offering themselves to the highest bidder has risen dramatically, and there's no shortage of veteran soldiers willing to join these mercenary armies. So basically, the mercenaries, the Lombard, Tuscan free companies have reduced mercenary costs and have greater mercenary discipline. Okay, so again, it does look like we're going to lose this battle here, unfortunately. We just didn't have the morale. So that's kind of a bummer. Very close to getting a victory. It didn't help that we didn't get any assistance from these armies here. That's a shame. Let me just take a look. Are these guys ready to do this? Yeah, I mean, they outnumber by so much. Let's go ahead and do the attack. So yeah, we lost that battle. As far as troops lost, we lost a significant number of troops compared to them. Yeah, a lot more. Now, we do have a lot of manpower. But yeah, that was a big loss for us, unfortunately. So now these guys are going to retreat really far away. And they'll have kind of free reign over our territory for a little while. But we are winning the seas, which, like I said, is important for us to ever be able to invade their territory. But yeah, now they're going to cause us all kinds of problems over here, taking our territory and stuff. So, looks like we're not able to destroy any of their ships. Alright, so let's go to merge those. And, okay, they're coming over here, so let's go ahead and battle that fleet as well. So do this. And yeah, it looks like our side's going to get defeated in this as well. Okay, so that was kind of a big loss for us. As you can see here, we're down negative 10%. That's that mercenary cost and mercenary discipline that we got. The new mercenary companies as well, all from that event. So I was most concerned about the seas, winning in the seas and not on land. now we're winning the seas and losing on land. But yeah, we'll get this sorted out soon. We just need to get our armies, all their losses replaced, and then come back down here and start stomping on them. It didn't help that I was drilling those troops. Probably shouldn't have been. I didn't expect them to come into our territory so soon. So yeah, we were drilling those troops. We should probably pay for this fort now since they're in our territory. But yeah, we were drilling those troops, and then I didn't have the morale that we needed in order to win that battle. So that was my bad, having those guys drill. But I feel confident we're still going to win this. You know, they'll get their victories down here, but it'll be fine. Winning the seas, that's what's important, so that we can invade in their territory down here. Because as you guys can see here, we wouldn't be able to just... Well, now it's letting us go in their territory. That's interesting. When it'll let you go through territory, it's kind of... Yeah, unclear, because you're supposed to have military access. But a lot of times in wars, sometimes they'll let you go through territory. I'm just not entirely sure how that works. And the Ottomans have already used their golden era. You only get one of those per game. Now, that's in here. So we have not gotten any of the objectives for the age. So we're not able to get anything here. The one that's most achievable for us is the large city. Getting a city up to 30 development, which would be Paris. So we need to increase the development of Paris by 5 in order to do that. But I do like focusing on the technology first, and so I'm trying to get the ahead of time bonus here. So we need to get this one. So yeah, I don't know if it's worth spending all this power right now on boosting Paris just to get the extra splendor. I don't think so. Alright, so our armies have moved down a little bit further. These guys are the weakest. Probably should bring them over here. And they're taking off. That's interesting. So you got the one army doing the fort here. They took that one province, which was not that important of a province to take. These Bohemian troops are staying in support of the Naples one, so that if we attack there, they'll help them out. This is a good province to have a fort. It's a hill province, so we'll get the dice roll bonus. So they'll have the penalty there. So yeah, we'll want... Well, I don't think you get river penalties when attacking on the when you're on the defense. I could be wrong, but yeah, I want to say you don't get river penalties because I don't think there's anywhere you can attack from and not get the river penalty. But yeah, I think you don't get any defensive penalties when it's your fort. So what we want to do... Let's see if we can go through here without taking any problems. Yeah, without any attrition problems. So what we want to do is get ready to attack with both our armies. So bring these guys over here in preparation, but we need to obviously restore some of these manpower losses that we've taken before we do the attack. And we'll attack here, and then it'll be, well, if they take off. That's interesting. They have taken off. Now, we don't have the full morale yet, so that's another thing we need to wait on. There's the Venetian army. That's the largest one. So a lot of armies stomping around over here. Let's go over this way. But yeah, this is where we're going to try and get the win here. What I'm hoping happens is they send a bunch of troops into this battle. The big problem with that last battle is that we didn't get any defensive bonuses outside of the river one. Probably should have stayed at this location. Alright, we're going to attack those guys again. And then we'll try and take out this fleet. But yeah, while we're trying to win these land battles, we should be working on destroying the enemy fleet. We can also get the next one here. That's the land force limit. Probably not going to build any more troops though, due to you know, problems with the manpower. And the fact we don't really need any additional troops. What we have is enough. That's not really the problem, I don't think anyway. So I almost want to wait until we can get the next tech. I really feel like that's what we should save up for, because it wouldn't be that expensive because of that modifier, the 10% modifier we're getting, and I think it'd be really useful. So we won another battle over here. Didn't capture any ships. We did destroy one of their frigates though, so a good victory for us. So let's go ahead and go over to this location and attack Naples again. Try and get another victory in the seas. You see our troops are already coming over here to take this, and they're now leaving now that we brought more troops over here. Okay, so can we get them before they leave? Probably not. That's, yeah, we're a day short, unfortunately. Okay, so can't engage them there. We did lose a stability point here. So we were expecting that. We saw that we were losing stability. And so not surprising. We have a total of 32,000 about. And I'm not seeing the Venetian army. So what we'll probably do is let these guys get locked here. Once they're locked and can't retreat, we'll attack them. Okay. With both of these armies. Make sure we have overwhelming force. Just in case the Venetians come. And Bohemia might come and assist. That would not be wise on their part. Because yeah, this battle should be a victory for us. Oh, they are going to assist. So they're throwing everything they got into this without the Venetian army. I imagine the Venetian army is on the way, but how far away are they? Remember, we're getting the terrain bonus here. And we have a better general as well. Yep. They do have that extra discipline, though, because he's a strict drill master. And remember, we have those cannons, but they're useless in battle. So this is this battle here. We didn't sink any of their ships, unfortunately. We're going to go ahead and repair our losses there, you know, our ships. So it looks like the Venetians did arrive, guys. There's their big old army. So that's why everybody came into this battle. Alright, that's unfortunate. Could have waited until we got a bit more of our manpower. I didn't know the Venetians were so close. Alright, so that's unfortunate. We will lose that battle as well. Damn. Alright, so far, the land battles are not going well for us. This is where I thought we would do really well. And I thought it was going to be in the seas that we were going to struggle. Okay, so, yeah, that's unfortunate. We keep losing these battles here. We keep finding ourselves outnumbered in each conflict. And I thought that could be an issue where we had the greater numbers, but only if we were getting the assistance of our vassal swarm. And so far, we have not been able to, like, get everybody together in one battle. You know, we have all our army in one battle, but not the vassals. Now, they are going to win here against that little 1,000 men. But yeah, this is unfortunate. This is going to be another defeat for us, hitting us on the war score and taking more of our manpower. Now, we did have that, they had that train penalty and we had the better general and stuff, but yeah, it wasn't enough, unfortunately. Seems they also have better morale, and I think they just have better military tech, because remember, they're further ahead. So I think that's also causing us some problems, guys, is the military tech, because they're getting the military tactics. They're getting the land morale, the infantry fire. So that's what's hurting us, besides the fact that we're always outnumbered, of course. So we need to get this tech. Once we get that, I'm going to be a little bit more cautious with engaging these armies, because frankly, we just keep getting outnumbered. So I need to make sure that in the next battle, we're not outnumbered. So we're going to want to restore our losses, get that tech, and take this seriously, because yeah, these guys are winning the war currently. So we're sitting at 1.47 war exhaustion, so still good when it comes to war exhaustion. Still good on manpower, not doing too bad there. We've only lost, you know, about a quarter of our manpower, so we're still doing good here. But yeah, definitely having some issues. Now, I noticed that Venice is at -2 stability. So that's pretty bad for them. So that's helping us. We're winning the seas. There's still some good stuff here, guys. It's just, yeah, we've got to get this turned around in the land battles. So unfortunately, that will have to be the end of today's episode. I do hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe to our channel, hit that notification bell, and leave a comment. Do hope to see you on the next one. And thanks for watching.